people on the anti-vaping side aren't ready to accept the argument that vaping saves lives. They'll say, you know, 1 million vapors in Canada all say, I feel better, I don't cough, I don't wheeze. Well, that's just anecdotal data. But if you ask in a survey of high school students, in the past year, have you had a puff on a cigarette or an e-cigarette? Well, that's data. See, there's a big difference there. So you do a telephone survey of 500 teenagers, that's data. You have thousands upon thousands of Canadians saying, vaping saved my life. I know that. If I had continued to smoke, my doctor said you're going to die. So I took up vaping and now my lungs are clear and my COPD, I don't have to use my inhaler anymore. That's just anecdote. So there is a kind of ideological stance that is just resistant to the notion that vaping could save lives. Clearly, the data has been so tortured to somehow support a preconceived notion. There are just too many of those to count. The amount of grant money that gets distributed in the United States to researchers who clearly are anti-harm reduction is astounding. So we could go through lots of examples. The formaldehyde scare, which e-cigarettes are going to give you popcorn lung, and we could talk about that. They get rewarded with $1 million grants. Stanton Glantz, the amount of money that's been poured into his lab to produce what you called suspect science is just astonishing. But the major government-based grant agencies in the US very clearly have an agenda that is anti-harm reduction. And so what you find is that studies that hype the risks and ignore the benefits of vaping are the ones that get funded.